And now we are going to start Dragon Quest V, featuring Hoishin.
Awesome.
Hello, welcome back
Hello.
to Dragon Quest
Hello.
Block Round 3. This is the next game we're going to be doing. Go ahead and introduce.
Yeah, it's broken.
This is Dragon Quest V, also localized as Dragon Quest V Hand of the Heavenly Bride.
I think the interlace is.
So, to specify exactly what this is Dragon Quest V for the PS2 version, which was released only in Japan. And the any percent category is specifically the any percent glitched category. So that is why its estimate is 45 minutes.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just going to interrupt you for a second.
Sure.
We are aware of the jitter problem, and we are going to fix it right now.
Actually looks better. Yeah, it looks better. Yeah.
Awesome. Looks smooth.
All right. I think we are ready.
People are excited for you, Hoishin. So
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I'm excited.
Now, before we start, shoutouts to Hoishin. He came all the way from Japan to do this run and the Final Fantasy XII run, which will be happening a bit later.
He's got
after
a busy
Mario
night ahead of
RPG.
him.
Yes,
Yep.
he does.
Gonna be until 6 a.m. Yeah.
Guess we're waiting to see if they're ready. Good.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, I'm ready.
I guess I'll count us down.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go Hoishin.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So for the first 12 minutes, nothing's going to happen. It's
Yeah.
just, a regular, it's just a regular Dragon Quest game. Totally normal.
Yep. Should we explain the story or
Well,
we just gonna break the
Very-
game?
We can for like 20 minutes. And then
yeah, we can discuss, the beginning of the story, but I guess if we're going to introduce ourselves again,
Yeah.
why not? High Spirits.
Clear tonic
Go, Skang.
And Hoishin.
and Hoishin.
But yeah, this is your dad. You can choose to save or not save him.
Later.
Yeah. Not saving him is actually the fastest way.
Yeah.
And there's you. Baby
Oh.
Hoishin. On the
Well,
day you were born. Aww.
By the way, I named him dot or
Dot.
period because I think it's faster. And also it regards to some manipulation I might have to do later.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
I couldn't do it for incentive or something.
So this is such a joyous day that on the day you're born, your mom passes away.
Yeah.
That's a reoccurring theme in this game.
Yeah.
This is probably the most depressing Dragon Quest game in the, but thankfully we get to skip a lot of that. So, it's
Yeah.
a cheerful game.
Just fun part.
So he's actually going to go around picking up a few items. Nothing specific, just regular survival stuff.
Part of the thing with grabbing the items is there is also an item manipulation glitch that is going to be used in this run.
Yeah, item duplication glitch.
Duplication.
Yeah.
Duplication, yes.
Yep.
Just a note about the versions for Dragon Quest V. So Dragon Quest V was originally released in Super Famicom, I think in '95.
Yeah,
Roughly,
something like
yes.
I
that.
think that's it. Yep, and then it was released later. I believe this is the second version. I believe this came before the DS version.
DS I think came late 2000, early, like 2008 range, 2009.
Yeah.
So
and
this
was
is
like
2005, I think.
Yeah, cool. So, yep. So PS2 version was released only in Japan, and then they released the DS version and then localized that in the West, and then there may be an iOS version. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
anyways, this is just a PS2 version of this game. It's sort of its own beast. The engines in most Dragon Quest games are sort of reused. Like, for instance, in Dragon Quest 7 or Dragon Warrior 7, that engine is reused for Dragon Quest 4, which is Japanese only. But this engine for Dragon Quest 5 is like the only instance in which it's used. So it has its very special quirks, and yeah, definitely some room for glitching, which we're going to see
Yeah.
throughout all of this. So
Definitely a reason why they should never use the engine
yeah,
again.
one and done.
But yeah, this is like DS version is pretty much a copy of this one outside of they added another person to marry.
So you're basically your 6-year-old hero who is traveling with his father years after his mother passed away.
Well, actually, technically, my mother is not passed away.
Whoa,
She's kidnapped.
Spoilers! Wow.
You're led to
We're showing
believe.
them. We're showing them the beginning.
Yeah.
And
Just
Because
as I was
There goes the
invested
story,
in the
just-
lore.
actually, if we do kill the Papist, that actually comes up as part of the story.
Well,
See, yeah, see, you know it.
I think Papa says we are looking for our mother
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
first part of this game.
Actually, I don't know. In the English version, they never tell you that
Okay.
that your mother is alive. You're supposed to think that she's passed away until
Sorry.
a certain point. Yeah.
it's fine.
I mean, you can read it. Go ahead.
Realistically, you're not going to follow the
Yeah.
story. So,
This
like,
is
it's
a-
not going to happen.
This is a very loose interpretation of the story.
Yeah, avant-garde.
So, something interesting about this text or that input yes/no screen there. That's only one of 2 instances in the entire game where it defaults to no as the answer, and you got to say yes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of frustrating because like there's only 2 instances, so you're not used to like just like, oh, I have to choose a different option. Usually you're just expecting I'm gonna hold down the button.
Is now a good time for donations? Because we actually just got a bunch.
Oh sure, this is the normal part of the game.
yeah, we're gonna
Also,
we got a lot
Hoishin,
to explain later.
Chad is saying the game's ruined for them now, so your goodwill has been
Yeah.
lost.
Spoil!
But we have $5 from Anonymous. We have $5.55 from Lord Hayati. You might not like this donation, High Spirits. Dragon Quest V is also known as Screw This Protagonist in Particular.
I like that.
Seriously,
Perfect.
The hero needs a hug. Let's save his dad at least.
Aww.
We have $25 from Anonymous. As someone who, A, loves RPGs, and B, struggles with anxiety and depression, this marathon really hits home. I'm absolutely in love with what you guys are doing, and hope this event only gets bigger and bigger. I don't have a lot of money right now, but I am more than okay with donating to this cause. This money is going towards naming Vivi in Final Fantasy IX as Vivi, as I name my cat after that adorable black mage.
Well, this game has a really cool soundtrack, and the overworld theme, I would argue, is one of the best overworld themes in any game ever.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
So as you leave, you actually get into 3 random encounters where he actually wants to fight them because he wants to try to get the hero up to at least level 3 for a little bit of safety, because there is kind of a little dangerous part. There is RNG in this run for a little bit,
Yeah.
and one of it is surviving a dungeon at ridiculously low level. But it's really easy to get to level 3. And as you can see, levels are really slow in this game. They take forever to load and happen, so we don't want to gain too many of them. So, you know, just a few.
Yeah.
No more. You don't need any more than, like, 3 levels.
Yeah, normally 3 level is enough.
If you got any more, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's slower.
Okay, we have $25 from CornDog913, and he says, we need to see Link and Samus. So that's a little bit more towards the visiting Link and Samus incentive in Super Mario RPG. So there's still a little bit of a ways to go.
So he just escaped there by accident.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
That's fine, yeah. We also have $25 from an anonymous donor and $50 from another anonymous donor.
The very generous Anonymous.
This anonymous guy, he's probably our biggest donor so far.
I know. So he just returns to town, and everyone knows Pappas. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
You know, there's Sancho. I mean, you might see him a little bit. But basically, you're live in this town. This is your hometown, and everyone's happy to see you're back from a long adventure, including your childhood friend, Bianca.
And you're led to believe that Pappas is just some random wanderer who's very strong, without any spoilers.
Yeah, without any spoilers.
He's just a guy.
Yes,
Like, you know, he-
definitely.
that had a big, giant, fancy bed at the beginning before your mom didn't die.
That's true.
So this is funny right here. It's like she's like, let's read a book, and she's 8 years old, by the way,
Yeah.
and she pulls the book out and says, I can't read it.
There's a lot of neat little things with this game, based around, especially in the child section, based around the fact that you are a little kid. If you try and read a signpost, if you try and read it from the back, one of my favorite things is it says you try reading the signpost, but you're reading the back.
Yeah.
And then if you try and read the signpost from the front, it says you try reading the signpost, but you can't read. You're not old. You're not old enough to read
Yeah,
yet.
it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, this game actually spans about through 30 years, if you play it normally.
Yep. There's 3 generations.
Yeah, 3 generations. So the story goes here is Bianca's father is sick in the nearby town, and she came to this town with her mother to look for a medicine to cure. So this person came into this dungeon to get some medicine, and he hasn't come back yet. So, you know, being the intrepid, brave, get the safety.
Yeah.
The
That's about to forget.
that's a safety shield, by the way, for, you know, better protection. But so he's like, I'm gonna go into this cave and see if we can find out why, because I'm 6 years old and I can do whatever I want. And so we're just going through this cave to progress the story a little bit more before we start having fun.
Yep.
It's pretty. It'll resemble the regular, like, I guess, glitchless run for probably about like 10 to 15 more minutes.
Out of curiosity, what is the time on glitchless PS2? Isn't it like? Isn't there like
5.5
Yep,
hours.
5.5.
Yeah.
So it's about where the DS version is at.
Yep.
They
So-
have a casino manipulation category, which saves about, I think, like 30 to 45 minutes over that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, and then this category is 45 minutes.
So he really doesn't want to die here before he talks to.
it's
Okay, good.
It's good.
So the minimum he wants to do is talk to this guy. He doesn't really need to get that chest because he's gonna buy something else as safety in the next town.
I really don't want to
Yeah, don't
talk to
it.
this guy.
Don't
I want to talk to the rock.
You actually don't even need to talk. Once you get into position, the
Yeah.
game's like, oh, do you want to push this rock out of the way? And now he's free, and now he can get the medicine, and yay, we're all happy.
Nice. All right, cool. So his HP is actually relatively low, which is cool. So he's going to unequip and do a death warp.
Yep.
Yeah, when you die in a Dragon Quest game, you go back to the church. Unlike, you know, Dragon Warrior 3, where you go back to the party and destroy the game.
Yeah.
It's also kind of peculiar in this game. Like, if the hero ever runs out of health, it just says, "Oh, you got sick and fainted," or like
Yeah.
nothing especially bad happens because I mean you're a little kid. They wouldn't want to say hero died. That would
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of be horrific.
The hero never dies, just everyone else around him.
Pretty much.
That's kind of this game in a nutshell.
So he's going to pick up a couple more items while he's in here because when he gets to the next town, that's where the glitching starts. And the first thing he needs to do is item duplication, and he needs 13 different items in order to pull it off.
So that's a strength seed, and that's going to
Yes.
be part of that.
Yep, that he's worth some money. Not a lot, but it's worth enough.
It's actually most expensive item.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna duplicate that item to afford something.
So all this hat and shield he's getting, you know, that's to add to the 13 count, but he's actually going to use that as protection when he goes through the one dangerous spot at one level lower than he really wants to be. I think you're level 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
I'm
just
kind of
less
worried,
health.
but
It's all right. You got a shield and a hat and some fancy scale armor that you'll
yeah.
buy. So Dad, you know, being the generous guy, since you know you guys want to save him, so I guess he's got to be nice. Decides that, oh, I'll help lead Bianca and her mom home, you know. So let's go to the nearby town.
Pappas is a pretty cool guy. He, as soon as you leave town, he immediately comes in and says, "Whoa, there, you're not strong enough for this," and just pummels all the monsters for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty strong. He has a great mustache too, as we learned. You know, little monsters tribute here.
Is now an okay time to?
Go ahead,
Yes.
because the glitching is about to start. So.
Okay. Well, we have a donation from Purple Mario 920.
Of course.
$25. He says, "Great Dragon Quest runs. Awesome to see you limit break Hoishin. Bonus money if you can glitch a Deborah wedding. Hashtag best wife."
So in this game, you can get married
Yeah.
and have a family and all that in your in the
Normal
story, but you actually have the choice between who to marry, although not so much in this category.
Yeah.
We have a different way of getting kids in this.
Let's just say he's never going to get old enough to get married. So this is where it starts. He's going to unequip everything, and so he can have at least 13 items in his inventory. And then he's going to put the Seed of Strength, move it till it's to the back onto the second page, because you'll notice 12 items fills up a page in the bag. So the 13th item is the seed. And if you want the item you want to, the item you want to duplicate, how to do it is you basically go to another page, is pick something that's on not the first page. You hit left to go to the page before it, and then you want to go at least one down. So, you want to be below the item on a different page, on a page before it. And if you press left and O at the same exact time, it will duplicate the item and allow you to put it somewhere into someone else's bag. And as he did there, you'll see he has a lot of Seeds of Strength now. So to get some early money. It's a very simple duplication to do. And you'll know right away if you fail, because if it doesn't switch to the item you're trying to duplicate, you miss the timing and you just cancel and try it again. And then he's going to buy some herbs and some Chimera Wings that allow him to teleport. And some better armor for the hero. And then the fun begins. The real fun begins.
Yep, he has some very basic equipment there. He had a Wayfarer's clothes, leather helmet, leather shield, and
Yep.
I think that's it.
The important thing is just to make sure he has at least 300 gold left over. Because, that 300 gold is what he's going to use to really confuse the game.
So he bought 4 wings, some herbs, I think 9 herbs, and he's getting some equipment.
Yep. That's
Yes.
scale armor.
Feather hat, scale armor.
Normally, going for a record time, you would ignore all that armor and just stick to the Wayfarer's clothes, but the chances of surviving the run go down significantly when you do that, because you're going to go through a place that you shouldn't be at until at least level 5 or 6, that he's now going to do at level 2.
Yeah.
With Bianca, who's level 1.
Yeah, the good old Dragon Quest boys in Japan have set an incredibly high standard for each Dragon Quest game. So if you want to go for the fastest time, you have to get away with the bare minimum.
Yeah. So the story here is your dad gets sick, so you can't go home. And before you find out he gets sick, you saw him go and talk to a bunch of children picking on a saber cat. Well, you decide, well, you know what? We should save this cat. And the kids go, and the kids are like, fine then, if you go to the nearby haunted mansion and kill the ghosts, we'll give you the cat. And of course, being the 6-year-old that you are, let's go to a haunted manor and save the cat.
Okay, but before that, we have to do something.
Oh, yeah. But we got to take a detour first. So coming up is the first major RNG part of the run. And, well, I'll let you guys watch on camera. There's a reason why the camera is pointed in the direction it is. Once he gets outside, you'll realize. But he's going to do a safety save, because if it goes really bad, he might have to reload.
Classic Dragon Quest, taking so much time to save.
I know. Got to go to a church. And then make sure you don't say no when it says, do you want to continue?
Yep.
I can't believe they still include that in
I
modern
know.
games. It's like they have autosave everywhere. Like,
Yeah. So hopefully he doesn't get into an encounter, and you'll notice that he just did something to the PlayStation. Oh, he got into an encounter right away.
That was pretty fast.
Yeah, so if he gets into an encounter here, the game soft locks effectively.
No, it's
No,
not. It doesn't have soft lock, but it's faster to just reset and do
Yeah.
some manipulation, so that it doesn't. We don't encounter
Yeah.
anymore.
Either way, it's faster to reset. So
Yep.
okay.
Yeah. So
I'm
if he
mixing
gets-
up my soft locks.
Yeah. If he gets into an encounter, he has to close the PlayStation again. And that completely messes up what he's trying to do right now. Because you can get into the encounters with the PlayStation open, but you can't load the encounter with the PlayStation open.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking soft lock. Is like,
Yeah.
it just takes a bunch of time to get the disc back running.
And he also does this because he kind of has a manipulation that works most of the time
Yeah.
in order to avoid getting another encounter. But yeah, he has to take quite a long walk without getting into an encounter for this to work.
So I'm just gonna hold down
Just
and
literally
running
hold
into
down.
the wall to do some kind of, I don't know, frame perfect manipulation or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so hopefully this will work, and you'll notice something strange about to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently they forgot to finish the game.
So this is a big part. This is
Yeah.
what the opening the disc tray is responsible for.
Yeah.
It doesn't load the entire world of the game.
So he's going to need to count here real quick, so let's let him focus a little bit. Because he's going to about to walk. There you go. So yeah, the game loads the world map tiles at a time. So if you open up the tray, it can't load any of the other tiles in the world map, so it just lets you go wherever you want. And then he just happens to
Boom.
land in a town right here.
That's good. We did it.
First major RNG gone. Thanks to manipulation.
So in this town is what we needed the 300 gold for. This is a town you're not actually supposed to get to until later in the game, where they introduce the monster collection mechanic. So in order to do that, you need to pay this guy 300 gold in order to get a wagon, and that lets you store all your party members and all your monsters. And you're not supposed to have this as a kid, so the game gets really confused by the fact that you're a kid here and have the wagon.
That's true. So it's not super confused right now, but when he goes to the next dungeon and he puts somebody in the wagon that shouldn't be there, then it gets very funky, and that's where things go haywire.
So
But
yeah,
no,
this dungeon, this town, you're not supposed to be until you're a teenager.
That's right.
Until 10 years from now,
Yeah, the second gen.
after things happen that we're not going to spoil.
Yep.
So this is coming up as the last real bit of RNG, and that's, well, he's going to do a pretty easy walk to get to where he needs to go, to the Haunted Manor. But getting through it at level 2, that's the randomness. So he's going to have a pretty big walk. But the good thing about this walk is once he goes out of bounds, he no longer get into new encounters, unless he comes back in bounds. And he can actually do that at the northern part of this map if he's not careful, because it actually extends farther than it looks. So, he'll probably take a couple extra steps before he goes left. And then he needs to count when he gets to the end. Yeah, don't land in the water.
I'm so careful at this part,
Yeah.
because if you land on 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. So we'll know if he got it, because if he actually messed this up, you soft lock the game.
Yeah. You can end up accidentally clipping inside of a mountain and you're stuck.
Actually, I don't think that's what it is in this case. I haven't figured out why, but for some reason, if you end up in the wrong tile, the game just refuses to load and locks you out. I don't know why, but it's only for that one instance. Any other point in the game, it seems like it'll let you land in a mountain, but you'll just be stuck in the mountain.
It's like I'm misremembering where each of these things go. Okay, at least I'm on the right track.
Yeah, there are a lot of things can go wrong, so
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you destroy a game.
yeah.
Things go wrong.
That's why he has to count. If he just tries and just wings it, a lot of things can go wrong
Yeah.
So he's just going to go through this place normally. It's just a normal, everyday haunted manor. Skeletons jumping out of caskets and kidnapping Bianca. That stuff happens every day.
So you might be thinking, like, okay, well, if he can open the disc tray and walk wherever he wants, why is he going to basically the next sequential part of the game? And that'll be answered pretty soon.
Yeah.
So.
Because he needs to kind of go somewhere to do something. But yeah, so no trauma here at all. Getting kidnapped by skeletons as an 8-year-old and thrown in a tombstone. Nothing wrong with that at all. She's happy, and this is a fun place.
She's actually angry at me for not rescuing fast enough.
Exactly. So yeah, it's kind of fun little thing. There's all kinds of little things that happen, like talking to a countess here, ghost. The bookcase is mysteriously open. It's a fun little haunted manor.
I think if I was playing this game like when I was 4 or 5, I was so scared.
Yeah.
I'd be so scared because this is the
crows.
first dungeon of this game.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of wicked because, like, this part of the game, it's so early, but they still give you monsters that put you to sleep and blind you and do all kinds of crazy things. And, throw you in a dark room filled with ghosts.
Yeah.
Spooky.
And a ghost king count that you're chasing.
A Ghost King.
Hi, Ghost King. They're chasing you.
They're gonna get me.
So any of these rooms here, he can get into an encounter, and that's very dangerous. There's only a couple of safe rooms inside the castle. And so, yeah, the whole reason why he got the armor, and he hoped to get to level 3, but he's going to have to go at level 2, is because he wants to survive whatever is going to attack him. And once he gets through the dungeon, then it's pretty much, it's fun. Because then it's just glitch, glitch, glitch. The ghost count just walks right through.
I like how it looks like he's walking down a set of stairs going the other direction.
Yeah, I know.
His name is Eric, by the way.
Eric,
Iriku.
Is it okay if I read some donations?
go ahead. We got a couple minutes.
All right, well, before I read some donations, the bid war for Papa's or Pancraz's Fate is save is at $145.55, and don't save is at $52.20.
Getting some love.
How much time is there left for the?
5 minutes, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you better get your donations in if you want to continue the tradition of being callous.
Okay, this is the dangerous tool.
Yeah. He has to come down here to get a torch to light up that dark room where the ghosts are. And it just happens to be in a pot in the back of the kitchen. Okay, we just want to run away.
One Night Whip.
First turn, this isn't horrible, but yeah, he puts Bianca in front, so hopefully she'll take the hits. Because the only one that has to survive is the hero. Uh-oh. Okay, Sap. And Bianca, though. That's good. Okay, got away. And this is why he bought the herbs. Lots and lots of herbs. It's probably going to be 3 encounters or so that he has to work. Ooh, maybe 4 encounters with that encounter rate.
This is fine.
Ghosts are not horrible. Candles are the scariest thing to
Yeah.
see. If you see candles multiple, then yeah. I mean, he's not having the best of luck, but he'll be fine because he'll get away. They don't do much damage to him.
Sorry if you just said this, but does Bianca recover in this version if she dies?
Yes. Anyone who's an NPC in your party and dies in a fight, wake up at the end of the fight with 1 health.
Okay, 3 encounters.
Yeah, that's fine. That's close to normal.
All right, Ghost. Go away.
Is it possible to get 2?
Yes. It's just whatever the encounters give you. Not having the best flea rock. At least they all went for her first, so you got some
This
hits.
is it.
Now, there is actually an option.
4, 3.
That was a lot of damage. You got to run here.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. So, yeah, there's actually a you can actually flee individually with each character.
Yeah.
But that would allow them to get their attacks first, but it'd give you a better chance to run because one has to run away for both. But you would also deal with them getting attacks first. So, if you get a really scary encounter, the first thing you want to do is run away with both characters. And if they still can't get away, then you probably want to try to get out.
So this
We don't like Bianca.
I like Bianca.
No one likes Bianca.
Okay, I use wagon secretly.
Yeah,
Delm
secretly.
likes Bianca.
So you're not supposed to have the wagon, so you're supposed to have Bianca and the hero through this entire section, which is important. And now you just blew it all up. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
Tick, 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 tick.
Do, 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 do. You have to get to the end though first. So, but thankfully there's no more encounters unless you get one right there in that little square. It is possible to get an encounter in that one little section.
All right.
So you're gonna go up here and oh look, it's the villain, the mean villain, and pay close attention to yeah, you'll see. Whoops, he went the wrong way. He's falling up.
All right.
Watch for it. There he goes.
There's another one.
So he just broke the Z-axis, basically.
I can just control this.
Yeah.
Another hero.
So the game expects you to have certain characters in cutscenes right now. Like, it expects that following cutscene to have 2 characters in it and no way to stop that from happening. And when you take out one character and you do a cutscene, it confuses the game to what we call the stick glitch.
Yes.
And most of the time it soft locks the game, but there's a couple instances where it works nicely. And in this case, he's also going to hit a loading trigger and stop that fight, because that fight would kill him if he got into it. So now, inside dungeons, he can break the Z-axis and do whatever he wants. So now it's time to go get some more glitching done. So he's going to go out of bounds again and head to the end of Generation 1.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So yeah, there's another out of bounds he's going to count coming up here. Okay, and he should land up in a nice, neat place. And this place, by the way, the end of this place is where we either have to decide the fate. Ooh, a little far away. Could have gotten to an encounter there. Encounters here would still have a high chance of killing him. So he throws Bianca back in the party, removes all of her armor. And yeah, so breaking the Z-axis allows you to skip triggers.
Gets me every time. We're good.
So he just walked over those guys and said, "You can't enter here." To Dad fighting a bunch of enemies.
Usually this is a pretty long dungeon. You have to wind all the way around, but
Yeah.
clearly not the case.
So he runs away the first turn because he wants... Because you'll notice Bianca's in the party right now. The game doesn't have a flag to remove her from the party because she's not supposed to be there at this point. So she just kind of stays there. He runs away so she dies and doesn't gain levels from this fight. And Dad joins the party. Yay!
And
And just fly around, yeah. So when you're in the air, you can't get into an encounter, so... But unfortunately, in order to set a flag that we need, he needs to get into a couple encounters because he needs to ride this raft and trigger an event at the end of the dungeon. And this dungeon is basically a rescue mission.
Who are we risking?
Some guy, strange guy.
Do you mind if I butt in with an update on the bid war?
Yes, because it's going to end
So
here shortly.
first off, we have a $100 donation from Daijin Tai.
Oh.
He says he dies, RPG dead. And so the status right now
Oh,
is don't save at $152.20 is currently winning.
Okay.
And save is at $145.55. So if you want him saved, you better get a donation in right now.
oh yeah, because you're
it's gonna
almost
be
out of
in
time.
several minutes.
Yeah, that's going to cost us a few minutes, but that's why we said saving him saves the frames. I've never actually seen him perform killing
Yeah, it's gonna be
the
first
dad,
time.
so I only
front
know
of
how
high
he does it.
space.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's some strange guy in a jail cell. Let's save him. And watch how Dad saves him. It's great.
oh,
Boom. Well, it's not as climactic as it is in the...
So is he physically controlling the Z-axis, or does it just happen automatically?
Yeah, just controlling.
my understanding is that it's not really well understood, like why the trigger of putting Bianca in your wagon causes this to activate, but
No, but
it just does.
yeah.
So now you have escape. So we're pretty much going to need to know now the final totals.
Let me refresh, but I don't think too much has changed since then. I think
Yeah,
that
it's
guy
closing
pretty much
soon.
sniped it.
Because right here is where we need to know the fate.
Doing
Well-
just one final refresh, and it looks like wow, it is save at $153.54. It
Oh.
won by $1.34.
Wow.
That's snipe.
Okay, so it's
The
saved.
reverse snipe.
So same thing. Okay, so there's a lot of glitches that are about to happen and just happened. And I'll explain it in a second because he's going to suicide on the swamp here.
Yep, and the hero dies.
Yep. The hero died. The fight ended. He died in a swamp. And say hello to a bunch of Neras. Floras.
This is actually the bug room.
Yeah, this is the debug room. And what he's doing is he's changing out party members for his children.
So yeah, you don't like get married and have kids in this run. You just spawn kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the
Join your party.
from the wrong wife because they should
And
have
this
blue
guy-
hair.
Yeah. That's right.
This guy levels you up to 99.
99. Yeah. So now they're max level. Now he's max level, and he has all the spells. And now it's just now he needs to find a way to get to the end of the game. But I guess we should go back and explain all these glitches that just happened that you guys really didn't notice. So he's gonna take a little walk here, so he's got some time. But so when he rescued Harry, his name is the guy in the jail cell, and it put a flag in the game. The flag is basically the next time you get into an encounter, which would have been the guy he flew over, and they. Oops, I'll let you go.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll stop.
All right. Just in case.
Yeah. Oh man, you're gonna make the whole trip in one go, aren't you?
Yeah.
So going back to it, it put a flag in the game where the next time the hero dies, which is supposed to be at that next encounter with the bishop, okay, you're kind. The next event happens, and the next event in combat is to end the fight, which then removes the flag. Well, since he never actually did that encounter, that encounter specifically removes the flag. So that flag is not going to get removed for the rest of the game. So anytime the hero dies in combat ends. In the case like when he was in the swamp and he got into an encounter, the hero died and the fight ended. And then he passed away in the swamp by taking damage from the swamp. Well, for some reason, I don't know if it's known why, but when you trigger that flag, oh yeah, by the way, he's in a volcano now. Random volcano. But yeah, for some reason on the world map, when you die, the next event is to go to the debug room, which is what he did.
Yeah. Don't know why.
We haven't really found out why exactly that is, whether it's a mistake or a programming or a glitch or just like how the game is programmed. But so he ends up, now, has his children, level 99, and now he's going through this volcano for some strange reason. And more specifically, the reason why is that ring right there. To get to the end of the game, you have to get to the Dark World. And to get to the Dark World, you're supposed to collect 3 rings. The ring of fire, the ring of water, the ring of life. And then you put them on some statues and you go to the underworld. Well, the game doesn't care which rings you put on it, as long as you put rings on it. So he's going to get the fire ring and duplicate it. And, well, even at level 99, you'd think this would be an easy fight, but let's make it more fun.
So this is Kaplank in English.
Yep, Kerplunk.
It suicides the hero, and the fight ends.
Yep.
It's
Somehow.
also translated as farewell in some games as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So he just suicided the hero to basically heal the entire party. But since the hero died, flag triggers, fight ends, and he wins.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And now he's going to duplicate the ring 3 times. 3 for the statues and 1 to get the ship to allow him to get to the statue. So if you got anything, you got a couple minutes here.
I do actually have quite a few donations. So the total save actually came through with 2 other donations. Pleonastic threw in $100 saying, "Save the papa now. There are one true waifu." And $20 from Androphilus saying, "Papas must live." We also have $30 from Tengu Gemini, who just wants to say mental illness is a serious problem, and I am so happy to see you all raising so much money to help those who suffer from it.
Just
Walk through the wall.
Yeah. Easy.
We also have a donation from Bobby Prather, for $5. He says, "Hey Hoishin, good luck in the run. I'm ready to
you.
start learning this run finally." Oh, and hey, High Spirits. You should have ran Dragon Quest Monsters Terry Wonderland.
So since we are saving purpose, we are not gonna return to Ruin and they're just gonna end this game.
Go to the end of the game.
Yep. So he survives.
Yep. So normally we would that one fight where the hero was supposed to die. That's where Dad was supposed to pass away in the story.
Basically, because let's just write it here. Since we got away, he just fought off some easy mooks. Because what happens in the story is basically they use you as a
Pawn.
basically. He's like, if you do anything, we'll hurt your son, and then they just beat up on
Ransom.
they beat up on him because they can't exactly beat him because he's fairly strong. So he just fends them off, and he's like, hey, I get to go back home.
So now let's go to the Dark World. What do you say, guys?
Sure, I'm down.
So that door is... See, what happens is when you use the stick glitch, if you go past the loading trigger, the game doesn't load. You have to actually walk back. But this door is sealed, but there's a very small window where you can just go through the door enough to and go through the loading trigger without having to open the door. So that's what he was doing, is he was carefully getting through the door without actually passing the loading trigger.
You actually need 3 different rings
Yeah.
for this statue, but
Rings of Fire will do.
Yeah, so the game doesn't actually... You can put him in any position, I assume, and the game doesn't actually care what kind of ring it is.
Yeah.
It just expects you should have the 3 separate ones. So if you put them all in... If you have 3 from duplication and you put them all in each one, it doesn't care.
The exact same thing happens in Dragon Quest 3. You can put the orbs anywhere you want, and you can duplicate one.
So the World of Darkness is a nice place, but we went through the game so fast that they forgot to build it.
Yep.
The other half of it. So it kind of just ends after the bridge. It's actually a pretty big place. Takes a little time to walk through. Lots of, deserts and places for encounters. But oh, look, there's the final dungeon.
And again, he has no encounters because he's level 99 and is cast Repel.
Yeah. So he's obviously out-leveling everything in the game right now. So have you got anything else while going through the final dungeon?
Yeah, but before I do that, I just want to note that we're less than $1,000 away from 60,000.
nice.
And we have $5 from RPD 234. He says, "Hang on a minute there. So this is an RPG where 300 gold is an important amount with heavy amounts of things breaking. It's almost like having PJ here playing Lagoon. Be careful and go for broke, Hoishin." Now we have an old school GDQ donor, Fuzzmosis, donating $30 with an old school comment saying, "You are the man." $15 for Mike's Choice, which is for the first Demon Wand Final Fantasy 12, and $15 for High Spirits to put on a bid.
On a bid. Is there any wars for 12, Final Fantasy 12?
Actually no.
How about fight the Elder Worm?
Yeah, that will do.
Let's make Hoishin work it a little more.
Okay, and we also have $25 from Wyken, who says, "Hooray for RPG Limit Break, my favorite time of the year. Thanks for all those who put so much time and effort into this event. This is such a great cause that affects so many, and I am very happy to be able to support. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the runs, and let's go see Link and Samus in Super Mario RPG."
So this is the final dungeon. It's kind of nice, isn't it?
No encounter, no puzzle.
No puzzles, no
Easy game.
encounters.
No floor.
Yep.
No great
Just-
dragons to make things miserable for you.
Just go through.
As intended.
So you're supposed to open that chest and a bunch of giant beasts pop out and you fight them and
Nah.
So final boss, guys.
You might be thinking like, hey, well, it's a final boss. I understand you're level 99, but you haven't thrown on any equipment.
Still
Not
wearing
really
scale armor.
prepared. Yeah, bunch of kids, right?
Yeah, keep in mind, your kids are older than you. Your kids
Yeah.
are 8. You are 6 years old.
Yeah.
And you were demoted to the back of the wagon too. Your kids just took over.
So yeah, this is actually a 2-phase fight. mean, he could be challenging. The first phase, he likes to summon allies, and he does that wave of ice that you really hated in Monsters.
Oh yeah.
And we got the Kerplunk spell.
Yep, easy.
And there's phase 1.
All right, good fight.
Okay. So here's a small problem though we got now. The hero is dead, and we don't got a way to really resurrect him without wasting a lot of time. So you got to come up with a more creative way to deal with the second form of
Yeah.
Mildred or Nimzo, depending which version.
But the time is coming up.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
So just something a little more creative for the final boss of the game. What do you say? After he spends more time appearing than dying.
Well, whatever. I'm just gonna do what I feel like to do.
You're level 99. Beat him to death.
Well, it's boring.
Yeah, no. Well, you don't have the hero to help you, so it could be difficult.
Okay, then
So what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna flee, I guess.
Just run away? Okay.
Yeah.
And time.
And he's dead.
And he's dead.
Owned.
So apparently, your hero's still dead, so the flag's in place. You just have to wait till it gets around to the hero's turn for the game to realize he's dead. So you just run away, and when it gets around to your turn. And you still got the stick glitch.
Yay, we won.
You did a great job.
Okay.
See, it's a perfectly happy game, and nobody had to die.
Yeah, everyone survived, even Mom, since he ruined it for us.
Yeah. I didn't spoil anything.
There's actually a really there is a consequence to all this glitching, but it takes probably at least 10 or 12 minutes to get to that consequence of what happens while beside you flying away. You're all grown up now. Look at that. You grew up into a fine young man.
Well, actually, we broke this game so hard we can't reach the end of the credit.
Yeah, we can't beat the game. by
Yeah,
the
we
way.
can start the credit, but it takes time. So, if it's
I
enough,
mean, we
I
could
think.
show it off, or if you need to move on or whatever.
Yeah, we are still running a little bit behind, so I think it's best if we move on to our next game, which is going to be a great run, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
Okay.
Cool. So basically what happens is you go through the first part of this victory tour, and then you go into the first part of the credits. Yeah, there's just have fun. Go wherever you want. You can't leave the screen, by the way, while you're in the air, because you can't hit loading triggers.
Yeah.
But so you go through the first part, which does like showing you the main characters and flashbacks, to like the time you got married and, all the good things, moments of your life that we never saw.
I must go. My game needs me.
And then you get to this dancing cutscene where everyone's dancing, but for some reason there's a guard that's in the middle of the screen that shouldn't be there, and the game soft locks right there. All you see is literally eternal infinity dancing.
Yeah.
And it never goes to the ending credits because we broke the game so badly.
But yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah,
Yep.
good job, Hoishin.
That's
Follow
it
Hoishin.
for me,
Follow
man.
Hoishin.
Thank you.
Oh, Hoishin.
So we have $25 from Fala Star, and we also have So before Super Mario RPG, we're actually going to have an interview with Freddie will be interviewing Hoishin in High Spirits.
All right, guys, we're now going to be heading over to our interview. Freddie's going to be interviewing Hoishin, and go take it away. They had no heads to begin with. You can blame Mimic. You can blame Mimic for the lost heads.
Wasn't live?
Oh.
Okay. Well, we'll do that, but again.
Hi.
Hey, everybody. This is
Hi.
Freddie. And
Hi
I'm here
again.
with Hoishin and High Spirits. So, Hoishin, you just finished that Dragon Quest V run.
Yes.
How do you think it went?
Well, that was a pretty good run. The final time was 43, which is pretty close to the estimate, but that was kind of intended.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, this run is pretty consistent, so
So you feel safe with a
Yeah.
tighter estimate. And
yeah.
doesn't
And,
look like really anything went wrong other than you had the
nothing.
one reset, but you said it was part of a manipulation, so you could just go straight down and be good.
Yep.
I know I had a lot of fun watching it. That's for sure.
It was a great run. I mean,
It
it's
looks like-
exactly what you expected for, especially even in a marathon. It's exactly what you expected.
Yep.
So Dragon Quest has a lot of representation over in Japan, but not quite so much over in the English communities. How does it feel seeing like a full prime time series of Dragon Quest games and Dragon Warrior games all at once?
It was pretty exciting. I wasn't really expecting this time
Yeah.
to run, but yeah, I'm so happy to show you this crazy run to in front of a lot of people in this time.
You weren't nervous either, so you did great, man.
I was nervous.
Oh, I'm excited. I've been one of the biggest vocal
Mhm.
supporters of this community for a couple of years now, and
Yeah.
Yep, you've
You
been
know-
big into the Dragon Quest series. Recently, you've tried to do the entire series in one sitting.
Yeah.
Did you get a second try of that yet, or
yeah, that was 2 tries.
Two
I've done.
tries. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
obviously,
we're
I got
glad
a
you
shirt
slept.
made specifically for it to commemorate it, just filled with
Yeah.
slimes, because that's the only thing that matters in life
That's
is
true.
death,
All-
taxes, and slimes.
All slimes all the time.
Yep.
But yeah, of course, I'm excited. It's hard in the West for Dragon Quest to get like good attention because it's always second tier to a lot of other series because they like to stay to their roots and stay to what worked for 30 years. So it's refreshing. It's good to be here for 3 runs in a row.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Hoishin, so you're kind of in a interesting position because you're kind of almost a liaison between the English and Japanese communities for both kind of the Dragon Quest series and the Final Fantasy series.
Yes.
So what is it like being kind of that go-between person?
Well, I'm mostly in English community, but
Yeah.
I sometimes talk to Japanese community, and it's pretty, I feel like still the English community and the Japanese community is separated,
Mm-hmm.
mostly because the language barrier.
Yep.
So I think it's important to remove these stumbling block and being able to talk to each other because there are a lot of strats and stuff between them.
Yep, I know we spent a lot of time, at least in the Final Fantasy community, looking at a lot of just some good Japanese runners trying to take some of their strats, and
Yes.
sometimes it goes the other way as well. But even to the point you've done you helped organize the Japanese restream of RPG Limit Break
Yeah,
this
this
year.
one. Yeah, main organizer is a different person, but I helped
Okay.
him.
You helped him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then coming up a bit later, we were hoping to have Russo with us for the Final Fantasy 12 run.
Yes.
Unfortunately, his plane's a little bit delayed, so he'll be here in time.
You're good. You're doing the first half, buddy.
probably.
We're sorry.
But so anyway, after the super awesome Super Mario RPG run coming up, we got a
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 12 run. Are you
Yes.
excited for that?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. My speedrun life was started with F12. I love the game and I looked into internet and I actually found Rooster Law
Mhm.
first. And this speedrun is so interesting, and I started speedrun, and that's how I got into the speed running. So yeah, I'm so excited to show this game at RPG Mid Break here.
Yeah, I know I am as well. I'll probably go into it more later.
Freddie likes this game a little bit, I heard.
Yeah, you know, we should move on. So, anything you guys would like to shout out before we pass it on?
Well, real quick, I'm glad that the Dragon Quest community has grown immensely in the last 2 years because it was really like 2 people for the most part a couple years ago, and me and Tonic we really started it, and and we and a lot of people have jumped on, and now it's a huge community, and we're even getting Japanese runners coming over here. Twitch is starting to get a pretty big Japanese Dragon Quest contingency, and I'm just glad to be able to support it and be here to help it grow, hopefully, and keep it going. And good to hear to support my buddy who flew in all the way across the world just to give me this mimic.
Yep.
This mimic, well, it's a tissue box. It's supposed to have a tongue, but it needs tissues.
Excellent. Anything else from you?
Well, I'm tired.
Got a long way to go, buddy.
Don't get too tired yet, man. You still got some time to go.
Well, I'm so happy to
Nap.
be able to run this game, run at this in front of, I don't know, thousands of people on stream, and I really thank you to community, both FF and JQ community, the Route of Runners, and also I forgot to mention Pink Val regarding to the game. He's kind of developer of this category, although he's also Japanese, but. And I learned a lot of from him about this run, and I really appreciate him to be able to show this run here.
Yeah, Ping is the third major runner of this game.
Yeah.
Literally us 3. It's a little community.
Like a fun
But
game. I
yeah,
already heard
he
at
did
least
a lot
one
of
guy
work
like,
for it.
I
So
want to learn this run now. So it looks awesome.
yeah,
You need Japanese PS soon and Japanese
Yeah,
copy,
that's the
but
trick.
if you can do
Tough to
that,
get
let's
into.
go.
Anyway, so let's move on to the next game. We'll see you again in a few hours.
Yep.
I'll
Thanks,
see
Freddie.
you guys in a few hours as well.
Yep.
And thank you again.
yep. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Once again, congratulations, Hoishin, for his lovely Dragon Quest V game. Coming up next is Super Mario RPG Legends of the Seven Stars. Any percent with our lovely Pidge 0_1. It's going to be a blast. You guys are going to enjoy it. I got a really few, couple donations I'm going to read for you guys. I got a $25 donation from Dark Eagle that says, meant to donate during Dragon Quest Monster, but got stuck working. Dragon Quest Monster was so much fun. A buddy and I made it our mission to breed every boss monster. Took forever, but we did it. Props to the people that put this all together. You guys are great. Donation goes to the next runner donation incentive, not Bid War. And just as a reminder for people that are wondering about the bid wars going on, we did meet the incentive for the secret super boss of Kulex. So that is going to happen. Also, right now, we're still if you want to visit Link and Samus, we're really close. We just need 750, and we're at 702 and 85 cents. If we want Mario to go visit our lovely other characters, Link and Samus, go ahead and put that donation right now. Also, Final Fantasy 12 80% also has a couple other donations incentives, one being Fight the Elder Worm, which needs 750. It's at 215 right now. And the Fight the First Demon Wall, which is also 750, but it is at 445. So if you want to make those happen, go ahead and do so now.